Hello, this is Topaz with Voice to the Void, here with another episode of the Daily Voice. Very light things for today. I'm meaning it is the weekend, a Sunday, so it's going to be relatively short. Left 4 Dead, the game by Valve, the original Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead 2, has just passed more than 12 million copies sold, which tells you that even once a game has been out for quite a while, that you can in fact keep selling more copies. Now, it's more interesting to see how much money was earned per copy, but they don't have that information currently out. Sony is also, in an interview with Gamasutra, revealed their disappointment over the lack of third-party support for development for the PlayStation Vita. This should come as no surprise, as although they were blindsided by the idea that nobody was going to develop, or very few individuals were going to develop for their Vita. It's been chewed away by so many of the other markets between Nintendo's more stable systems, as well as the Android operating system, iOS, and all of those different marketplaces that play a huge role in reducing the market share that is held by handheld consoles, especially the Vita, as well as with the specifications and requirements needed to develop for those types of handheld systems. I think even Nintendo has been hurting with third-party support and development. I think it is the go-to on the mobile device, and that they are definitely still in contact with a lot of large companies that are developing for them. But I think overall, new companies going in to develop new content are going to have a much harder time choosing those types of mobile platforms as opposed to the iOS or Android, because the iOS and Android has so low of a development cost. I mean, you have to get development models and all sorts of systems for the Vita or any of Nintendo's various DSs, especially the 3DS, and to try and develop and market towards those platforms may not even be as profitable as some of the mobile platforms or even web platforms, as may be the case. However, you do have more traditional distribution chains, and it is a more differentiated market because you are one of the fewer games to be on those systems. However, now that the Vita and games like that are focusing a lot more on the downloads and wireless side rather than the cartridges, you lose that uniqueness and you start competing again directly with Apple. Competing with an already established competitor is always a bad idea unless you have some sort of leg up on them. And Sony at this point does not have the leg up on the iOS or the Android systems. They're trying to do it with their interactive touchpads, but that's not as much of a selling point as they seem to be pushing it. However, this does not mean that these systems are going to be dead in any sort of the idea. I definitely look forward, because they're attempting to, as they're saying, restructure and give an actual mission and a purpose to see who's actually playing their system, which I definitely think is a very good one. I would like to see more of those games that came out for the PSP that are hooked up with, like EVE Online with the Dust, and all sorts of other games that are going to be on the system that are going to be more cross-platform or require the more interesting, complex controls that the iOS just cannot answer to. If it's able to get a structure where, instead of the previous PSPs, that it will be around for a while and it will be supported, and people who are developing for it currently will not be shafted on the next release as their previous iterations definitely did, because if you were developing for the discs versus the downloads, then you're going to have a bit of a problem, and a lot of game companies didn't want to port over their games, and a lot of the I'm sure that a lot of the development on the original systems was lost when you had to go to the next system that had a different control scheme. And because of that, it just made more sense to go to mobile or go to console or go to downloadable PC content, because it was going to be something that you would have to learn a significant amount more to be able to do. So, this has been Topaz with Voice to the Void. If you have any comments, questions, disagree, agree, have anything like that, post it in the comments below. Please look above if you want to subscribe and hear more of me rambling. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.